Yay. Yes, we did it. Yes, we did it. That's awesome. I noticed last week that the lighting was quite poor. So I got this new ring light. It's very snazzy. I can change all the settings and stuff. Boom. Now we're blue. And now we're white. But red. It's warm. Color, its tone is definitely the best. Hey, whoever just joined. Welcome. It's me and you. Some privates. Oh, now we have 3 people. That was fast. Awesome. I don't know if you guys were waiting. So yeah, I for some reason, just for the life of me, cannot figure out the other live stream. Like I scheduled a live stream and I had this cool thumbnail and everything. And I just like literally, they want me to use the streaming software. Guys, I'm running this on a 2015 MacBook Air. This streaming software is not going to cut it. I'm getting a new computer soon, so that'll be good. That'll be good. Can you guys hear me well? Maybe I should move this microphone a little bit closer. But let me know how the audio quality is. Totally new mic. Just set it up for the first time. So I'm so happy and excited to be joined by me and all 2 of my live viewers. And yeah, there's another opportunity for you guys to bother me. Let me know what what questions, inquiries I can answer. Glad to know the audio is crispy. That's fantastic. What can I do for you guys today? Any questions about college, my personal life, majors at Yale, majors in college in general? I'm happy to answer. Like literally just hit me, especially now that you guys, I think it's just Haman and like one other peanut. It's you 2 and me. I'm in Miami. I don't know where you guys are. Maybe you guys are on the other side of the world, but yeah. Oh, you guys already liked the video without me saying anything. That's it. It's been a successful day. Live stream's over. I'll catch you guys next week. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. What thoughts on PPE? What is PPE? What is PPE? Paid protection something? What is PPE? I'm also so sorry for starting late, guys, but just so you know, I have tutoring until like 11:55. Ethics, politics, and economics, EP&E. You were so close. EP&E, really great major. They just changed the requirements for EP&E because it used to be application-based only. And now they pretty much were like, that's dumb. We'll open it up to anyone who wants to do EP&E. I think it's a wonderful major. I think it's quite spectacular. Just the interdisciplinary dimension of being able to do both STEM and humanities. Technically, economics is a STEM. There was a funny article development where they changed economics to a STEM major since a lot of the international students need STEM degrees in order to get scholarships or financial aid or visas. So they changed econ to a STEM, I would say. That was during my years at Yale, probably 2017-ish. So it's good that you can do both econ and the humanities, like politics. If you want to major, if you want to do pre-law and you want to go into politics, or you want to go work in international affairs, become a diplomat, go get a law degree, then EP&E is really great. It's just such a flexible major. Like you could go and do anything. Well, most people do graduate from Yale and end up just doing either business or politics, government sort of work. So that, I just think it applies to so many different fields. I guess the only one would be like not so great for tech, but then again, tech companies don't really care about your major. They care about what products, services, side projects that you've built during your 4 years in college, as well as basically like things that you've actually created and designed yourself. Is computing in the arts at Yale a good choice? S&DS. Okay, so lots of questions about majors. Cool. All of these majors are really new. EP&E is the oldest one. I don't know how old it is. It must be at least 10 years old. S&DS is new. I think it's less than 5 years old. It's about 5 years old. And it's a really great major. People have been doing really cool stuff with it, even combining it with AI. And I remember hearing my friend's project where he was looking at, basically he compiled like hundreds, like tens of thousands of images of birds and trying to figure out like, is this a bird? Is this not a bird? A classic like hot dog or not hot dog test for ML. Anyways, S&DS, I think it's a good major. I wish I had majored in it. It's just like great value in the sense that, benefit over cost. Cost being is not that rigid or demanding of a major. So It's an amazing degree. Everyone is looking for, like, guys, you don't understand on LinkedIn. If you go on LinkedIn, like the number of jobs that say data scientist has surged over the last 10, 20 years. Data scientists, you can have data scientists at Spotify, at Google, at like big, even like sometimes, I don't want to say law firms, but anyways, data science has just become this enormous buzzword, huge field. So having a degree there is really powerful. Yeah. Especially because if you think about it, like a lot of other schools don't have data science programs. So being able to be like, yeah, I studied this, I know so much about it, that puts you in a more unique competitive advantage. Computing in the arts is also a great choice at Yale. I think that it just, personally, I'm a little bit biased. I think it aligns with a lot of the stuff I'm really interested in, whether that's animation, education, or using computing and the art, like, yeah, just stuff like that. I mean, that being said, like, if you're genuinely interested in computing in the arts and that sort of topic or subject, like, Yale's probably not the place for you. You should probably go to a place like UCLA or Berkeley, where it's actually a lot closer to Hollywood, and a lot of those people end up working in, like, Marvel studio films and things like that, which is super duper sick. Computing in the arts, it actually is pretty similar to regular computer science at Yale. I guess there's a minor difference in, like I said previously in one of my videos, it just allows you to, did I say this previously? But it allows you to get access to some really difficult arts classes. Like, arts classes at Yale are really hard to get into for some reason. Yale art program is just very prestigious, and I don't think they have as many teachers as there is interested students. And so, like, something that is graphic design, right? Like a really simple graphic design course, there's like 30 people and there's like 8 spots or 12 spots. More like the first day you can see the interest, and like 60 people show up, and they can only take 20 people for a graphic design class as one teacher. But if you say I'm computing in the arts, then it's required for your major. You do have to take this class. So of course you're going to get a spot. Yeah, I guess there are some art majors at Yale, not very many, but computing in the arts, it's just like, I think it's in the very seminal stages, and you can do a lot of different kinds of things with a degree like that. Like, if you are interested in multimedia, if you want to go and create, like, work on AR and VR, augmented reality, virtual reality, which I think is just going to be absolutely enormous over the next 20 years, then yeah, a degree like that would serve you well. Yeah, the camera. It's my brand spanking new camera that my subscribers bought me for Christmas. I was like, yo, sponsor my new A6400 camera. This is why I'm making videos every day. Hope you guys have been enjoying those daily videos. They take me a lot of time, guys. I never thought YouTube would take this much time, but it's a lot, but not that much. I guess you could say it's like about 3 hours a day. So yeah, by the time I reach 1,000 subscribers, I think I'll have made 90 videos. Each video probably average took me 4 hours to make. Let's say 3 hours times 90, 270 hours for 1,000 subscribers. That is a lot. Yeah, this is live. Feel free to ask me any questions. Timur Rudenko. Hey, Kevin, have you seen a lot of students from Eastern Europe / Russia at Yale? Unfortunately not. Very, very few. Even statistically speaking, there must be some kind of, there's a stats page where you can look up how many undergrads there are per country. There's more graduate students from those countries than there are undergraduates. I think a lot of people just aren't even exposed to Yale. Like, if you think about the number of people who apply from Russia to Yale every year, the number is pretty low. I can't imagine it's more than like 1,000. And considering the entire population of Russia or Eastern Europe, I mean, I have a few friends. Typically, these are kids who have studied abroad in the US before, have been really interested in Yale previously, have done the Yale summer program, Yale Young Global Scholars, YYGS, or parents have gone to Yale, or they go to an international school. So those are like the 4 scenarios. But yeah, I mean, probably less than 10. Like, for reference, China sends less than 10 kids to Yale each year. And then you'll have like smaller nations like Pakistan or Egypt. Is Tasneem here? Tasneem always joins. Tasneem's like, yeah, we haven't sent anyone from the country of Egypt to Yale for 3 years. And I was like, what? So international students is hard. I feel like I'm mentioning this every week. It is hard, but then again, it's a double-edged sword, because not a lot of people are applying. If you have a great application, you will probably stand out and still get in. In those particular scenarios, if you're an international student, probably the most important thing for you to focus on is a national or international award. That will significantly boost your chances, like easy, maybe even like 5 to 10%. What will I do Will you still do AMAs after I reach 1,000 subs? Yeah, I'll do AMAs forever, guys, till the end of time. There's like 10 people here. Like, I don't know. I feel like once I do AMAs and there's like 10,000 subs, there will be so many queries in the chat. I won't even be able to answer all of them. I like going live and talking to you guys. I literally like recognize your names. You guys don't understand. I like, comment, reply to every single, yeah, I like and reply to every single comment on this channel. I'm all over the YouTube analytics. All right. How do you stay motivated to study? Oh, I'm going to make a video about that. You should check out last week's AMA. At the very end of last week's AMA, I talked about like my parents' sacrifice. I was like, man, times were tough. I thought about my dad needing rice in the restaurant at 2 a.m. or like my grandpa who was captured during the Cultural Revolution and they tried to, they were torturing him. And he was like, they could take away my clothes, my possessions, but they'll never take away my knowledge. And I was like, those are like the stories that kept me up at night. Literally kept me up at night while I was studying nephrons in the kidney at Exeter, things like that. So I hope that answers your question, Yuan Tang. I don't have an opinion on Yale and US, Timor, because I've never done it. I don't know anyone who's done it. I know one kid who's done it. But yeah, I wish I knew more about it. I'm just not the right person to ask. I'm so sorry. Did I like, okay, so there's a few other questions. Did I like MUN, says Belmont Leo. I did like MUN. Let me get back to that in a second. Hey, Kevin, in one of your videos, you said something about not getting into the major of your choice. I don't know why, but I've always thought Yalies could pick whatever major they wanted. Oh, yeah, really great question. SJK, so there's really only 3 or 4 majors at Yale that you have to apply for. Global Affairs is one of them. The Human Rights, like developmental program. Oh, another thing about Yale, which I don't think very few people know, is that you cannot minor. There are no minors at Yale. So you either major or you double major. There's very select few like minor programs. Like I think they're education studies, energy studies, human rights. There's like one more, but there's like very far in between, rare. You have to apply for those little special minors essentially. But they're still cool. I kind of wish I did education studies now that I think about it. Anyways, so yeah, global affairs you have to apply for. Is there any other majors? Used to be EP&E you have to apply for. But yeah, literally it's the one major that I was interested in. I applied for and didn't get it. I didn't even get a response, bruh. Like, come on, seriously? The disrespect. I spent hours on this stupid application. And my profile was fine. And I took all these global affairs classes. You guys can check out that video, the one where I reveal my Yale transcript. No minors was whack. You have to apply for cognitive science. Damien's in the chat, guys. Damien, my breakdance buddy, graduated Yale class of 2019, 1 year ahead of me. He's here for the live stream. Everyone say hi, Damien. Comment in the chat. He's the guy I'm always like breakdancing with. We're doing the 365-day breakdance challenge. I'm going to go to Yale in like 3 weeks, guys. Maybe I'll live stream a breakdance session. Yeah, since it'll be on a Saturday. I'll pull out the nice camera. You guys can watch us roll on the floor and injure ourselves in the freezing New Haven winter outside the famous Beinecke Library. Maybe that'll be fun. All right. Other questions. Oh. So I liked MUN a lot. I actually didn't compete in MUN. I just enjoyed the... man, I don't know, guys. Did I like MUN? To some extent, I think that it teaches really valuable skills where people step up and, public speaking and collaboration and writing proposals on a time, what is it called? Like budget in a sense. But I don't know if it was right for me. I just ended up doing it because it was something I'd never done before. I just really liked organizing conferences. Like I love doing events. This is kind of funny, guys. Like all my entire life, I've had this theme of organizing events. I organized this arts showcase at Exeter. I did like the very first hip hop showcase at Exeter. And it was like an hour-long event. It was like super duper, like it was straight fire, guys. Like Exeter has 1,000 kids and a third of the kids would show up for this one event, this hour-long event that I organized, and it still exists 10 years after when did I graduate? 2016. 5 years after I graduated, it still exists. It's still a big thing. At Yale, I continued organizing events. I did like the Yale block party, the Yale hip hop block party. I did, I was just always like up to some shenanigans. Like I love organizing events. And that was when I had a revelation, which was like, Kevin, you organizing events, you could literally make a career out of this. Like some people's careers is event planning. I didn't even know that. All these things that I was learning during my years at Yale. But did I like MUN? I just liked organizing, and I really like my team. You know, guys, if you like your team, you could be doing the most mundane stuff of all time, and you'll still have a great experience. It really is about like who you work with more than the work you do. You know. Okay, other questions. A video on Cooper. Cooper. My mom took him for a walk. Okay, dude. The other day, Cooper was in my room, and like, there's this Chinese phrase where it says like, "tell feng gao pei," which basically means feng tell pei. Anyways, it just means like this dog has stinky farts. Like I'm tutoring, and this man is straight up disrespecting me. Like he literally like let out like 4 in a row. I was suffocating. Anyways, I shouldn't have said that on the live stream. He's 10 years old. Maybe he can't control himself. I shouldn't make fun of him. All right, what's my other questions? Oh, what's going on with the focus? Oh, there we go. Hi guys, good vibes is Damien. Other questions? Mundane. Okay. If you want to become a dentist, what would you recommend as activities when you're in high school? Like, I don't even think there's anything you can do in high school. I shouldn't say that. Like, you should have a solid foundation in biology. I have a friend's older sister who graduated from Yale, and then she went and became a dentist. Like, I don't think her transcripts really mattered. She just went to Yale, had a blast, and now she's going to become a dentist, have that sweet dentist lifestyle. Yeah, I mean, probably the best thing you can do as a high schooler is go shadow. Like, go to the dentist office and say, I will work with you for free. What can I do? Can I work like at the desk and listen to people and help them fill out forms? Can I like chat with you? And those connections will go a long way. That's probably the best thing you can do rather than just like sitting alone in a room and studying. And honestly, guys, this is a major theme in college. Your employer does not care about your transcripts. They don't care about your grades. The number one thing they care about is your prior work experience, where you interned. What did you do in that internship? What was your role? What were your deliverables? You worked at this company. Were you able to, so you want to say on your resume, like, you know, I worked at this company. I'll give you an example. I worked at this tutoring company. I created these 2 new programs. They became like the 2 most profitable programs in a year. I consulted with the CEO and I helped her grow revenue over 25% on a year-over-year basis. That's like impressive. People are like, whoa, clearly Kevin knows like business strategy, blah, blah, blah. So you want to be able to say those very concrete. In any application, I've been saying this a lot for you guys applying to college. And when you apply to grad school, when you apply to jobs, when you apply to master's program, PhD programs, when you apply for fellowships, when you apply for professorships, you want to always explain your impact, both on a numerical, logistical angle, and then the emotional angle. So you can be like, yeah, to what extent I helped this business grow and we were able to, you know, generate profits and all that good stuff. And to the other extent, like I helped this kid, like I tutored him over 3 years and he used to be like this little chicken nugget and we got them all the way to brown, you know? So talking about how that kid has developed and changed into a leader and he's become so much more confident and is now like giving back to his own community. You want to be able to talk about both sides of the coin, right? The numerical, logistical impact, as well as the emotional impact. Any application that is like super easy cookie cutter formula to getting in to the interview stage. All right, other questions. Yale and Harvard actually hate each other or it's a friendly rivalry? You know, that's the thing. Like if I see a Harvard student, we're immediately going to brawl. Like I'm just going to try to tackle them as forcefully as I can to the ground and immediately engage in physical violence. That's how intense the rivalry is. What was my experience being tempted into finance IB as a Yalie? That question really deserves its own video. I just made a video yesterday about what it was like really being poor at Yale. I forgot to mention the IB part. Oh, man. All right, let me come back to that question. That is a really tough one. Do I watch Mr. Beast? No, I don't watch Mr. Beast. Have I done any internships? Yeah, I interned at a nonprofit in northern Argentina where I did marketing for an agency that helps hemophiliacs in the region. It's the most random internship of all time. But basically all I did was like trade stocks in this tiny office room. And I helped them develop some marketing materials. And that was cool because they used those marketing materials to apply for grants. And then they got money to build a swimming pool for physiotherapy. Because, you know, the way you guys know what hemophilia is, like when you cut yourself and you can't stop bleeding. Well, nowadays with modern medicine, that's like people can stop external wounds. So it's really the internal bleeding, right? Like you bleed on your joint and then it swells because you can't stop bleeding. And then people have impaired mobility. So that's what happened in rural northern Argentina. I didn't know this was a problem. And here I am listening to this like doctor explain this medical problem to me in Spanish. And I was like, okay. What do you want me to do? I used Canva, created like an application, applied to like all these hemophilia grants. She won an award from the city. Everyone was happy. That was basically my role. That was cool too, because I was like the only male person in the nonprofit. But like everyone was older females. Like they were like 40, 50-year-old Argentinian women, and so they would just treat me like their son and bring me food and candy and stuff. That was my job. Yeah, internships, man. Okay. Colleges really care when it comes to grades. I mean, colleges care about high school grades, yeah, but employers don't care about college grades. Timur, to answer your question. I haven't had dino nuggets in so long. The shadowing would come to be the edge. Yes. Yeah. Like you guys would be surprised. Like a lot of high schoolers just don't have any real work experience. If you're like, yo, I interned at a startup when I was 15. That's pretty impressive. Or like I shadowed this dentist for 3 months and I did this, this, and this. That's not normal. That's like pretty special. That's pretty unique. A video about GPA. Belmont, Leo. Okay. Do you mean high school GPA, college GPA? By the way, guys, don't forget to toss this video a like if you're enjoying the live stream so far. And one of my favorite things to do at this point in time is comment where in the world you're watching this live stream from. That would be fantastic. I want to know where you guys are from. What time is it? It's 12:30 here in Miami, East Coast, Beast Coast. When did I realize my startup wouldn't last? You guys are asking. I like the more targeted, specific questions. Kevin, what was your experience with investment banking? Kevin, when did you realize? Why does my question keep getting ignored? Amanda. Oh, sorry. There's a lot of questions. Sorry about that, Amanda. What do you suggest a senior who's waiting for college decisions do? I made a video about that, so you can watch that. It's called Waiting for College Decisions. Watch this now. You should be focusing on your next stage, which is what are you going to do after college? You guys want to think like a grandmaster. Like all this time you've been preparing for college as the end goal. College is not the end goal. College is chapter 2 of like your entire life being like a 50 chapter book. So what are you going to do after college? You guys should probably start figuring that out. Like, what do you want to major in? What do you want to do? What careers are you interested in? That's the more important question to answer than where will I end up in college, to be quite honest. SJK, finance, IB. A 382 is good, says Damien. Yeah. Damien says it's good. It's verifiably good. Okay, so we got Vegas, Houston, Malaysia, Pakistan, Moscow. That's sick. What do you think of privilege at Yale, i.e. rich Yalies? Let me think about this, guys. Give me a second. Is there a reason you didn't apply to Harvard and Cornell? Yeah, because I wouldn't be happy there. I have friends who go to those schools. Cornell has the highest suicide rate in America. I did a summer program at Cornell, and my professor was like, don't come here. He was like, it sucks. It's miserable. He's like, I only come and teach in the summer, because I remember when I went to Cornell in the winter, and it was just absolutely brutal. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. I was like, okay, you're not going to be on my list. Harvard, same thing. I had friends who went to Harvard, and they were like, being a freshman male at Harvard is like, I don't even know how to describe it. You're like bottom of the barrel. You're like algae sticking to the rotten wood of a pier. Like you won't even get the time of day. It's very exclusive. It's kind of hard to get into social circles. And I was like, I don't want to be a part of that. Like my mom was mad though. She was like, you got into Harvard, you got into Yale and Princeton. Why didn't you apply to Harvard? You probably could have gotten in. I was like, dude, chill, mom. She's making me apply to Harvard Business School just so she can brag about it to all Asian moms that she doesn't even really know. But you know what? Things we do to please our parents. All right, back to some of the more important questions. Some rich Yalies are good. Some rich Yalies are bad. Yeah, I didn't even really meet that many rich Yalies. I guess it's a very self-sorting process where you'll start to see in college guys, like just hangs out with like people who are more middle class, low income will tend to gather. Richer people will tend to gather with each other. I've heard stories like there was a Saudi Arabian prince, it was paying like $3,000 a month for a penthouse suite in this off-campus apartment. It's not like I was ever invited to those. Didn't really know him. But I don't know. It wasn't something that I really sought out either. I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to try to meet like rich Yalies. It's just kind of like if they appeared in my life, I would talk to them and hang out with them. And it really opened my eyes because, like, for context, I was living in an apartment with 3 or 4 other guys, right? And our rent was $2K a month. So I was paying like $400, $500 a month. And this guy's paying like $3K a month for rent in New Haven. That's a lot. It's a big difference. I am sharing like a room smaller than my current bedroom in Miami, like literally smaller than my current bedroom with another person sleeping on a mattress on the floor. That was my life for like 2 years. And this Saudi Arabian prince is sleeping in like, he has his own penthouse suite with multiple bathrooms. And I'm just like, I just never really was even exposed to that. I was pretty surprised. I just never even saw that side of Yale. I'm sure I've heard stories about it, you know, and kids of billionaires. And there were kids in my secret society who were very well off. And yeah, even going to their apartments, I was like, this is a big apartment for one person. It's like, I have 4 people living in an apartment smaller than this. But it's not like, I don't know. It's not like I was salty or anything. It was just different. I never really exposed to it. Never really like sought it out. Wow, we have a lot of questions. Will you ever record yourself playing the piano? Guys, if you look up Kevin Zhen piano, you'll see this hour-long recital that I recorded when I was in high school. It's all purely memorized. I think it's on YouTube. It doesn't have a lot of views. Do you get distracted easily? So you built a startup at 15, Timur. Timur, why are you even going to college at this point? Just run your startup. You can do college on this side. No, I'm kidding. College is important, but you know, like probably the most, like I wish I had started my company, Timur, when I was like 15 or 16. I mean, one of the best things that happened to me was starting that startup at Yale. At what point did I realize it was going to fail? First of all, our unit economics were trash, meaning that how much profit we made per customer, per transaction. There's a lot of context here, but basically I ran this food startup, shared economy. Basically, it was called Home Cooked. It was an app that let you book home cooked meals made by people in your neighborhood. So let's say I moved to New York. I'm lonely. I find out that Damien is in my building. He's making dumplings 2 floors beneath me. Great. Awesome. I can book a meal with him for like $20. Go sit down, hang out with him, make a friend. So that was a vision. I mean, it's still a pretty awesome concept. There was a lot of issues with health regulation in New York, you know, selling food, safety, that sort of thing, strangers, vetting chefs. And then the biggest thing was really the scale. Like we were making $2 or $3 a meal. And guess how many meals we would have to host to just feed our team of 3 guys, right? Let's say we're living on a salary of $20,000, that's $60,000. So we would have to host 20,000 meals a year just to feed ourselves. Of course, you can make all these arguments about, you know, that's why you raise venture capital funding, blah, 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 blah. Uber didn't make money for 10 years. Yes, but the unit economics at this point were so trash, like even worse than I think ride sharing. And there was a point where like I worked every day for 8 to 10 hours and I couldn't get sales. People just weren't interested in the concept. Like the need for taking a taxi is so much stronger than the need for like, oh, I feel like eating with like a stranger today. You know, that's not a problem that people think about actively for a long time. Now I switch businesses and I do college consulting. That is a problem that people think about actively for a long time, which is why it's so much more lucrative, right? It's like a $10,000 problem or $100,000 problem, you know, getting into a great school. Eating with strangers is not a $100,000 problem for most people. So that's a little quick aside about how many users did we have? We didn't even have that many users. I mean, we had like a couple hundred. Yeah, it wasn't anything crazy. We hosted 60 meals over a year and a half. Okay, other questions. People talking about major. If I could switch my major, I'd probably do computing and the arts. Yeah, I just think that nowadays, like I'm so interested in ed tech. I'm so interested in fintech. I'm so interested in like VR, AR, the intersection of education, tech, and media. That's like, yeah, I wish I knew more about that. But I tried. I really did try. My worst grade in high school was a computer science class, and I think I tried again in my senior in college. What I really enjoy is design. So user interface, user experience design. Like I designed the wireframes for the Home Cooked app using Sketch. Love, love, love that. Took a design course at the School of Management at Yale, and that was really fun. That was, by the way, guys, like business school classes, absolute joke, a charade. They just invited guest speakers to come, and we would just listen to them tell stories. That was the whole course. This is so funny. Okay, I had some other questions. How do you deal with imposter syndrome? Plans for the future, biz school. And then do I get distracted easily? Thoughts on rice? Okay, sorry, Timur. I've never been to Russia. I've always wanted to go. Okay, let's see if I can answer some of these questions. Imposter syndrome is a pretty difficult topic, but I guess I would say that I was better adapted to it than most because I had gone to, boarding school for years and I had been already exposed to this pretty like hyper wealthy environment. And I think part of the reason that I didn't feel like an imposter so much as some of my other financial aid friends is because like I worked my butt off during high school. I was like, when I got to Yale, I was like, I fully know that I deserve to be here. Like I pretty much outworked a lot of my peers in high school. I was not the smartest kid, not even in the top third academically, guys. Right. But I was known for just being like a really friendly person. I ran a lot of clubs because I guess I was kind of like friendly and well connected. Like a lot of people just handed me club head positions. By the time I graduated, I was like the head of 5 or 6 different clubs. I'd won many, many school awards. I was like a leader on campus. That was like my forte. And I was like, like I'm the type of guy who like makes something out of nothing. So I feel like I kind of deserve this. I didn't really feel like it fell out of the air, and I didn't, when you work hard and you earn it, then you don't feel like you don't feel so much like an imposter, if that makes sense. That's kind of a short version of that question, but I should make a whole video on that subject. It's kind of complicated. Oh, here's my microphone. I'll move it out of the frame so that it's a little bit nicer. Yeah. Thoughts on Rice? Thoughts on Rice, Columbia, Yale, and liberal arts colleges? Rice is awesome. I think it has one of the best. It's a really great tech school. Texas is just so much fun. It's warm. Like had I gone into Stanford, guys, I would have gone because I'm just a sucker for warm weather and also the tech and all that good stuff. But yeah, I've heard great things about Rice. One of our dance team members was from Rice and he did CS there. Great CS program, top 10 in the nation. More affordable, more chill. Yeah, I think it's a great school. Columbia. So the thing about Columbia, guys, is that it has, I don't know if this has changed, but I remember my friends at Columbia really complaining about the core curriculum. And it was like, this is some Arcanian BS, like medieval torture kind of like schooling. Allow me to elaborate. Basically, they would pull out, you'd have to read these classics, the Odyssey, Homer's Odyssey, classic stuff like that. And on the test, this was literally the test. I'm not making this up. They will pull out a passage from the book and say, which book is this from? Which chapter is this from? Okay, that's enough about Columbia. No, I'm kidding. So, I mean, you have to do that for a year. Everyone has to do that. That's dumb. Like, I don't think that's education. Why am I paying 50 grand to memorize something that a computer could do? That's not teaching me critical thinking skills. Foolishness. That being said, Columbia has great parties. Yeah, fun. Frats are also cool. I went to a lot of parties in Columbia. They're pretty A1, very inclusive. A good time. But then the other thing about Columbia is that it's in the city, very expensive. People think that like it's fun to go out everywhere. It's not when you're broke as a college student. I don't know. Maybe if you're like rich Columbia, then maybe it's a little bit more fun for you. But school is most like Yale. The school most like Yale is Brown. Yeah, very chill, liberal arts environment. Emphasis on like people doing things. Yeah, same vibe. Yeah. Liberal arts colleges are awesome. The top 3 are Williams, Amherst, Swarthmore. I think that the quality of education at liberal arts colleges is actually better than Yale. I have friends because the class sizes are so small, like they sub 20 people. If you don't do the homework, people know. Even the campus is small and you'll like run into people more on paths. I heard it's pretty intense. I heard it was a lot like Exeter, actually, from my friends who went there. So where can I learn more about your college consulting business? It's not something that I actively publicize, Timor. It's just kind of like word of mouth. People hit me up and are like, yo, can you edit my essays? Can you do that? I'm not like actively looking for students. I have more than enough money that I know what to do with, even at this stage. But yeah, it's more of a word of mouth thing. I guess you could check out my website, which is like the kevinzen.com website. Yeah, let me throw down some links here. Oh, it's not letting me type. kevinzen.com. And then check out the Flash Fiction Friday video that just came out. Don't forget to vote, guys. Oh, I saw a lot of you already voted, which was sick. I'm so happy. Flash Fiction Friday, week 3 video. Just click on it, take a look at the awesome submissions from last week about the circus, and then vote on which one is your favorite. So love that initiative. It's been working out. Slowly, I will increase the prizes. Maybe one day hand out like $100, $200, $300 prizes once the channel grows. But yeah. Barnard students calling themselves Columbia students. I don't even know what I'm supposed to say to that. Like, I guess that's not cool. Strengths versus weaknesses of STEM at Yale. That's a good question, Jay. Sorry, I didn't answer that question about the distraction. So I do tend to get distracted easily, especially if I'm like, it depends on the task that I'm doing. But something that I'm starting to train myself to do more is like when I am in true focus mode, which I can sustain for on a good day about 3 to 4 hours of like purely 120% focus on a single task, no multitasking. That would look like me putting on noise canceling headphones, my AirPods, sitting down in a comfortable spot and just working and doing Pomodoro techniques. So 20-minute pure focus, 5-minute break, 20-minute pure focus, 5-minute break. Or sometimes I've been working on reading more. So reading for about an hour a day. And I'm going to make a video about speed reading and how to read 100 books a year. But it's something that I really just started doing quite recently. And so I can read about, 100 pages in an hour. And trying to read on a good day, I could probably finish a book in a day. But yeah, I just try to compare myself to people who are like way in leagues beyond me. Like the best speed readers read a book in 30 to 45 minutes. So I was like, oh, they're human. I could probably do that too if I like practiced. But distraction, yeah, Pomodoro technique is the cure to distractions. And also notice where your distractions are coming from. Are they coming from social media? Are they coming from your phone? If so, turn off your phone. Straight up turn off your phone, put it in a book bag, put your book bag in another room, and then do work. Do work in the same spot so that you condition yourself. Like once I'm sitting in this spot, my phone is gone. This is my workspace. So I literally have a desk in my room for like playing around, watching anime, like just chilling, NFL highlights. And then downstairs on my Mac Mini is where I do video editing. And I'll be like, all right, I can't take a break until I finish this. I hope that answers your question, Yuan. Okay. Strengths and weaknesses of STEM at Yale. Good question. Now, the issue is that, there's a lot to this question. STEM. So as you guys know, the STEM is actually not that strong at Yale. And there's a reason why this is good and a reason why this is bad. It's easier to get into Yale compared to MIT or Stanford if you apply as chemical engineering, if you apply as, I shouldn't say economics, but like physics, it's a lot easier to get into Yale. So then you'll get in and you'll realize that the program is actually just not that strong. Like a lot of the science faculty have complained that there's way too much demand and way too many students in STEM courses and not enough TAs or professors, and they're not getting enough funding. And also the burden for STEM professors, I think, is way higher because they are put on this pressure to constantly produce research. And that's actually their number one job. Their job is not to teach you. Their job is to produce research. That's like cutting edge and win Nobel Prizes. Teaching you is secondary compared to that. Like they'll say Yale is a nonprofit research institution, right? Their job is to poop out papers, not tutor you guys. So those are kind of like a mixed bag of incentives. That means that you're going to end up with huge lecture halls with 300, 200 people your first year. You're going to be teaching yourself. No one's going to be teaching you that much. If you're confused, you're going to have to ask for help. We'll go to Khan Academy, go to, self-organized peer study groups. So it's very much like a, fend for yourself kind of situation. And then I would say that it's just hard overall. Like a mechanical engineering degree has more major neuroscience, for instance, at Yale has 20 credits. For reference, East Asian Studies has 12 credits. So already this major is nearly twice as demanding as the East Asian Studies major. Then you have to take into account that 1 credit for East Asian Studies is not that much, right? Like in the sense of a workload, it might take me, let's say 1 credit for East Asian Studies would take like 8 hours a week. 1 credit for neuroscience might take like 10 hours a week, right? Or 12 hours a week. So it's just so much more extra work. That being said, STEM degrees are just more highly valued in today's society. If you want to become a doctor or, work in a certain field and do even more higher education, then you're going to need that STEM degree. What do I want to be doing in 20 years? So a lot of people ask about my short-term, long-term plans. I want to make it as a YouTuber. That's my job. That's my dream for now. It's been pretty hard. It's been a lot harder than I thought. But long-term vision, I don't know if I'll still be doing YouTube in 20 years. That's a long time, but it would be pretty cool. Like my dream is to grow this channel, teach you guys about college admissions for a year or two. But then the thing is like you guys are going to start doing college and you won't be interested in college admissions videos anymore. So my content strategy is to grow with you guys at the same time in the sense that when you guys are freshmen and sophomores at Yale, you'll be thinking about like sophomore slump. You'll be thinking about looking for internships or fellowships or things like that, or your next 5 moves, right? You'll be thinking about dating and relationships, which is a huge topic in college, and things like that. So I'll be making videos about that. I'm talking more of the short-term plan, Tesneem. I'll get to the long-term. And then, yeah, we'll talk about jobs. We'll talk about like other facets of life, just like adulting 101, things that I think you guys should know: personal finance, mental health, dating, relationships, emotional intelligence, reading body language, social psychology, a lot of those kind of topics that I want to teach you guys. Occasional vlogs about my life, and talk about that. And then eventually I want to merge education, entertainment, and business. So think of like Khan Academy, but more for practical real world skills, personal finance, navigating relationships. You guys think about it, like relationships is a really enormous topic. I don't really think that most young people even know what like a healthy functional relationship looks like. Like the depictions in American pop culture and media, that's not what a healthy relationship looks like. Chances are your parents don't even have a very healthy relationship. Like most, just statistically speaking, most young people don't. And so like, where are you learning this information from? Imagine if Khan Academy taught this kind of stuff. So they don't, I don't think. So this is why I'm going to try to teach it over the long term. Yeah. Funny thing, yeah, Zen Academy, I'm going to try to change my name to Kevin Zensei once I hit 1,000 subs. Kevin Zensei. They have personal finance courses, cool, but more of the humanity sort of side, like dealing with emotions, spirituality. You know, a lot of times, guys, like even I hear my girlfriend saying like, "Oh, today was a really productive day," or "Today was like a really unproductive day," and then she feels bad about herself. Like the purpose of life is not to produce, if that makes sense, right? Like your job, you're like, it's such a capitalistic concept that you always have to be producing something for someone or someone else. Like you doing nothing for an entire day is just as valuable of a day as you reading 5 books. Does that make sense? I feel like that was a really hard thing to swallow, but it kind of, you know, more recent realization during quarantine. Okay. Other questions? Looks like a lot of people dipped. We just have the real OGs stayed behind. I can see the number of people who have stuck around. I really like the small classes at liberal arts colleges. Yale is 6-1. Williams is 7-1. Classes at Yale really this small or that misleading? I've never seen a class that has 6-1 ratio. That's hogwash. I literally don't know where that stat come from. I've never, like the smallest class I've had at Yale was 12, if that small. And those are so rare. So rare. I would say like I took 36 courses at Yale and 3 of them were that small. So that's just a super misleading number. I don't even know where that, are they counting TAs? Like teaching assistants are not the same as real professors. I know that Williams is truly like more of a 7-1 or 10-1. I don't even know where these numbers are coming from. That's like so messed up. That's so misleading. Yeah, SJK. Kendall Griffith. Hi, Kendall. How do you make life and work coexist with each other? How do you just live? I've been caught up in work, but I can't ever imagine relationships and work coexisting. I'm really not an expert in this subject, but I'll do my best to answer your question. Honestly, guys, the way I think about it is I try to work as little as possible. Like I used to tutor 40 to 50 hours a week. Let me rewind a little bit, because I used to work on this startup, right? And that startup was all consuming. I was like, oh, owning my own business is going to be more free. Absolutely not. I was held captive to this startup. Like I felt guilty if my co-founders were working and I wasn't working. Every day off felt like, you know, I just felt grimy. I felt slimy, and it got real tangled real fast. Now the second business, I was like, I'm just going to keep it on the side, like a muse. There's this great book, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And he's like, you want your one way to think about business and work is like, I am going to work on this as hard as I can and grow it to massive scale. And then I'm going to sell it and retire. That's like very common Silicon Valley entrepreneurial thinking. Now, the other way of thinking about it is I'm going to own this small business and I'm going to keep it small and make it profitable. And then I'm just slowly going to remove it from the frame to the point where I'm going to train other people to run this company in a way where I don't even have to manage them. And so it's becomes this like self-operating organism. And you work little and little. Remember, guys, like the most valuable resource you have is your time and your energy. It's not money. You exchange time and energy for money, right? and you can also exchange money for time and energy. At any rate, like I am at this point, I am like trying to work as little as I can. People are always like, well, don't you want to grow your business? I was like, no, not really. Like I'm pretty happy where I am. And rather than investing like additional hundreds of hours, thousands of hours into growing my business, I would rather work on the things that I enjoy. Like I spend a solid 4 to 6 hours each day, literally just on me time, doing exercise or reading or just things that I enjoy. Friends, those are the things that you're going to remember when you are when you're on your deathbed. I guess some people like they just really want to work and maybe that's like their calling, and that's fine too. Everyone's different. How do I talk so well stuttering without when there's such a large audience? Chloe, I've tutored for 1,000 hours on Zoom. Like this is not, I used to be a horrible public speaker, and I wanted to make a YouTube video about how everyone should start a channel because it will teach you how to communicate that much more effectively. These hand motions, staring into the camera, everything was learned. It's not like I was, popped out of my mom's womb and I was like, ha ha ha, guess what, guys? I'm a natural charismatic speaker. This was all learned. I used to watch videos about how to be more charismatic, about how to manage my tone, inflection, pitch, speed at which I talk, remove filler words. Sometimes I just pause. I don't want to say the word I don't want to say the word but, so I'll just pause, look to the distance, think, and then continue speaking. It was all trained, Guys, I was way worse than you guys. Like I was such an awkward turtle. Where's my awkward turtle? It's up there. But anyways, yeah, this was all learned. So there's hope for all of us. How do you measure value if not by productivity? Sometimes Yin, like value is innate. Like how do you measure the value of meditation where literally you're not producing anything at all? You're just in a state of pure being. Like I don't think, I got to assign $1 value to my meditation because I meditated. Then I was able to work more efficiently the next day. And I was like a 20% more focused. And as a result, like my revenue increased by 20%. Some things are just like, what is value? Value is just a made up number. Like it's just a number we made up on society. Who is to say that this pencil is worth $1? It's worth $1 because the next best person would be willing to pay $1 for this. Does that make sense? In fact, like value is very, in that sense, I think it's just like a made up number, made up concept. It's just an agreed upon numerical value that we assign to time. Like who is to say that my time is like Jeff Bezos's time is 100,000 times more valuable than like another human being's time? That's kind of crazy. At any rate, the best thing that for me, Chloe, to practice public speaking is I did business competitions where I was pitching in front of crowds and I was just always talking to people, interacting with, thousands of people over the course of several years. And that helped me become a lot more comfortable in my own skin and talk. But probably the best thing is to record yourself because you'll go back and watch your own recording and it will really enlighten you. And I actually worked with pitch coaches. So back at Yale, where we had entrepreneurial incubators and things like that, we would routinely place in the finals. And once you got to the final stage, Yale helps you become even better because they get a pitch coach to record you and then critique you. That was really helpful as well. And there's a lot I still need to work on for sure when it comes to talking to the camera and presentation and that sort of thing. It's just practice, guys. It really is just practice. Like you guys see my YouTube videos. By the way, I script most of my YouTube videos, so I'm reading off of a sheet of paper. And then I'll mess it up like 3 times. So you guys will I'll just cut off the stuff that I messed up. And there's tons of jump cuts. Other questions? Was I ever a TA? I was never a TA. No. I was never a TA. Would I ever advise double majoring? So when I have an older sister who's 13 years older. I'm 22, so she's 35. Yeah. So anyways, she is a family attorney in New York. She's a superhero. She works with domestic violence victims. And if like the husband is beating up on the wife, she helps them get divorced and the mom get custody of the kids. So it was literally like life-saving work. And she double majored and minored at UVA, University of Virginia. I believe she double majored in economics and history and minored in art history. She was like, that was dumb. She was like, I should not have been doing so much school. I should have been like, in a sense, she was like, go waste your life away. Like, go drink beer, have low expectations. Like, that's what college is all about. She's like, you can worry about the real world once you actually get there. Now, I do think there is a balance, right? Like, you don't want to just totally push that off. It's a sliding scale. You do want to have a little bit of both. But it depends on the school. And depends on what you're double majoring in. If you're double majoring in mechanical and electrical, that kind of makes sense because a lot of the courses will overlap. So it's actually quite easy to double major. Now, if you're double majoring in like neuroscience and East Asian studies, that's just like a death wish. You know what I mean? So it's circumstantial. Circumstantial, guys. All right. Do you guys have any other questions? I can't believe it's already been 50 minutes. I've been talking to myself for so long. Running out of water. Should I tell them my score if it's slightly below average? It depends on what your score is. If you think if your score is in the top like 20%, share it. If it's not, don't share it. Other questions, guys? Dude, this lighting is sick. I'm so excited by this ring light. I got it on Amazon and it came in 2 days. Unbelievable. We got warm orange. Ooh, now we got blue. Whole different vibe. No, this is white. This is blue. Actually, the white is not bad. Okay. Final questions, guys. Can you choose the same subject twice during undergrad? I'm kind of confused by that question. Subject? Do you mean class? Do you mean major? As an East Asian studies major, did you get to travel? Man, there were so many opportunities to travel and I never did. I was so sad. There's like amazing fellowships at Yale. And honestly, at most programs, like you can go and study abroad in China, Japan. They want you to do that and they will pay for you to do that. The best thing, in my opinion, to do between freshman and sophomore summer is go study abroad. And East Asian studies at Yale, like there was something called the Light Fellowship. They literally paid you like $30,000 to go study abroad in China or Japan or Korea, in one of those countries. And you could do it. You could do it for a semester. You could do it for a year. You could do it for 2 years. It was amazing. Never took advantage of it because I was working on my startup. I couldn't just like abandon my team and go to a foreign country. Yeah, so we made compromises. My hoodie is from Taiwan. It says no compliments. I have had this hoodie for three years. Yeah, I got it when I was in doing the Model UN, Yale Model UN Taiwan team. How do you even double major 2 subjects that aren't similar? You'd be a genius. Yeah, SJK. No, I'm kidding. Are you taking more classes than other people? Yeah, sometimes you are. Like my friend double majored, my roommate at Yale. He finished the double major in 7 semesters and he averaged 5.5 credits. So he, on average, was taking 20% more school every single semester than I was. Some people are just built different, man. Some people are just built different. All right. How many new lowers get accepted each year PEA? I don't know the exact number, but I want to say it's about 30 to 50. It's probably less. 30-ish. I don't know the exact. You can find out online, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay, guys. We have about 5 or 6 more minutes. What else can I answer for you guys? A lot of college-related questions. It's never Kevin. How are you feeling? Kevin, how are you doing? Kevin, how's your emotional and mental health? That's always, Kevin, should I double major? No, I'm kidding, guys. I'm messing around. Did I have any Indian friends at Yale? Yes, I did. Okay, next question. No, I'm totally joking, guys. Don't worry. I'm more than happy to be here and chat with you guys. Like no one is forcing me to do this. I do this because I like hanging out with you guys, and I wish someone did this for me. I think in February, if my channel hits 1,000 subs and I have some leverage, I'm gonna try to start talking to the other college YouTubers, Elliot Choi, RP Park, Josh Beasley. I'm gonna bring you back from the grave. Where are you guys? Let's hang out. Let's collab. I don't know if they'll collab with my 830 subscriber channel, but might as well try. Have I watched any cool shows? I've been watching a lot of anime. I need to catch up on Attack on Titan. I heard it's pretty lit. I watched Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, I'm a huge weeb. I love all the classic shonen anime. Caught up with Boku, with My Hero Academia. I don't watch K-dramas. I should though, huh? I really should. My emotional and mental health is fine, honestly. Oh, we got some JJK fans in here. All right, let's go. It's very classic mix. Like you can see a lot of Hunter x Hunter influence, Bleach, Naruto, a lot of It's an amalgamation of all those things. But yeah, cool. No, I can't. I don't speak Japanese, guys. I can't. Maybe I should learn though. They say your like 5th or 6th language you learn is easier than your second. So I've been trying to. How do I deal with mental health and do what I love without getting burnt out? I think I was really blessed with. This is a good question, Kendall. Maybe I'll end with this question. So one thing is like meditation. Meditation is my rock, and I try to master all the basics. You would be surprised, guys, absolutely floored at how many people don't have the basics together. What are the basics? Diet, sleep, exercise. Most average people do not have those 3 things under control. And then finally, I added meditation to the mix, and also regular updates, emotional updates with like friends, where I call them, talk to my family, loved ones, and things like that. Like if you have those 5 things under control, you're probably in the top 10% of like your stuff is together. Like most people just don't have those things. You wonder why you're like perpetually tired and anxious and worried and irritated. Probably because you're not sleeping enough. You're probably not even drinking enough water, and you're not exercising. Like those 3 things will totally chemically rebalance. So that's like level 1 basic. It sounds basic, but it took me 3 to 6 months to kind of like really get that together. And then the next thing was getting everything together. How do you try to keep doing what you love without getting burnt out? I just create like really stupid rules for myself. I'm like, Kevin, if you don't create a video, like you said you would do this on social media, that you would make a video every day. So it's happening. Like, I don't care if you are not sleeping. Like sometimes I'll be that stubborn, but of course I don't want to sacrifice sleep just to get this goal. So I'll have to like organize my time, and I like to eat the frog. There's all sorts of little tactics that I like to do, like eating the frog, doing the most hard, difficult thing in the day. You want to do that before 11 a.m. because that actually helps you build up a lot more momentum. And you can, by the time noon rolls around, you're like, oh, today was a good day because I've already done like the most important thing. And that just gives you a lot more confidence versus like you become a lot more anxious when you put it off and haven't done it for a few hours. There's all sorts of things. Honestly, at this point, I feel like I could write a book, but without getting burnt out. So I have phases, guys, where I was just like, I'll be like running full speed for several weeks, about 10 weeks. And then I just like lounge out, potato, don't talk to me. You won't see me. Kevin's disappeared off the face of the earth. He's eating potato chips and watching anime. Of course, like I'm still trying to balance. I don't have this all figured out. And there are definitely times where I feel more tired than others, but typically like a good night's rest and just like good food and stuff like that, like really helps for me. Everyone has a different way of recharging. Like Bill Gates has something called I think it's like a mind week or mind month where he disappears off in the woods and he's just like all by himself and he's just thinking. So like different people have different needs. Oh. Do an editing tour soon. What is an editing tour? I would like to know your thoughts on how COVID impacted Yale admissions. Yeah, so COVID made more people apply. That's pretty much it. I don't think that it's going to be any more competitive than it was in other years. I think more people were just at home. They had more time to apply, and so they did. But I can't imagine the acceptance rate, or like, even though the acceptance rate might fluctuate and change, like there's like fewer people getting in, or like the admissions rate is lower, but the caliber of applicants, like it's just people who normally wouldn't really have a chance, just being honest. Like you have a 2.0, a lot more, or 3.0, those types of kids are throwing their application in just to see what happens. But a lot of them will just get immediately disregarded because of SAT recommendations, lack of awards and things like that. And they will just be automatically thrown into another pile. They won't even really be considered. So the number of those kids is going up, right? The number of kids who are like exceptional each year, it's not like those number of kids are really going up that much. You also have to keep in mind that Yale and Princeton just built like new dorms and are accepting largest ever freshman class like every single year for the past 2 or 3 years. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, guys, we are nearing the end of a 1 hour mark. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like on this video, and I guess I'll publish it and share. I'll make like little timestamps and stuff like that. But yeah, thanks for joining. I will catch you guys next week. Feel free to schedule a time to chat with me if you'd like. bit.ly/botherkevin20. bit.ly. I'll put it in the chat. But yeah, let's connect. I don't know if I'll be able to still do this when I have like thousands of subs. So yeah, now's the chance. When the channel is small, tiny, the size of a mitochondria, I can give you some more tender, loving care. All right, guys, that is it for today. Thanks for watching. I'm constantly rooting for you. Your success is my success. Peace. I'm trying to end the stream. Come on.